refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide. First, a look at the visitors, the Missouri Tigers, 13-29 on the year. They are 0-20 so far in SEC play. The starting nine for head coach Carrick Jackson. Leading off and at first base, Jackson Lovich. Pierre Seals is in right field, Seals batting second. Keegan Knutson at shortstop, he bats third. Caden Peer, the center fielder, batting in the cleanup spot. Batting fifth and at third base, Chris Patterson. Tyler Macon is in left field, Macon batting sixth. Mateo Cerna getting his first start of the series. Catcher, he's batting seventh. Peyton Basler, the second baseman, batting eighth. And then batting in the ninth spot, the DH once again, Gehrig Goldbeck for Missouri. Coming up on the mound in the bottom of the first inning, they will send Sam Horn to the hill. Horn will be making his second start. He is no wins, no losses. He's only worked one inning so far in the year. Spotless ERA. For the Alabama Crimson Tide, it is left-hander Zane Adams who takes the hill. Talented left-hander who, again, David, we saw a lot as a sophomore or as a freshman. Now he's doing great things here as a sophomore.
He is second-team All-SEC preseason selection. And Roger, like you said, coming off a 24 campaign where he, at this point in the season, became a weekend starter as a freshman and pitched very well, getting SEC Pitcher of the Week back last year against Arkansas on a very good play, and he's gotten that going in 2025. He started as Friday, now moving to we're playing Saturday, but the traditional Sunday starter, but leads the team with 41 strikeouts, and you heard Coach Rob Vaughn. Fastball command needs to be good, and along with his changeup, and I think that changeup is a very good pitch that you have to have against a team like Missouri, aggressive to a fastball. He's saying that arm speed has to be the same speed as that fastball. And again, good bite with his curveball and start quickly. So that's the keys for Zane Adams today.
Adams on the mound. Before we take a look at the defense around him, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. That's 10 seconds for a station ID. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Back at Sewell Thomas Stadium, the Crimson Tide hoping for a sweep against the Missouri Tigers. It's again left-hander Zane Adams on the mound. 5-2, a 5.68 ERA. Here's how Alabama lines up around him defensively. Kate Snell in left, Richie Bonamolo Jr. in center field, and then Bryce Fowler, the right fielder. Around the diamond, Jason Torres at third base, Justin LeBron at shortstop. Second baseman, Garrett Staten. Over at first, Will Hodo. Catching is Brady Neal for Zane Adams. Home plate umpire today calling the balls and strikes is Hank Himonet. Brandon Bennett's good to see him back. The first base umpire who took a throw from right field off of the face last night had to be removed from the game as a second base umpire, but good to see him healthy and back at first base as the umpire today. Joseph Smith, second base umpire Mark Winters, the third base umpire. All the umps wearing black polo shirts, gray trousers, black shoes, and black caps. Uniform rundown for the Crimson Tide. Alabama in crimson jerseys, white numerals on the front and back. Alabama across the front in white pants, crimson socks, and then the camo ball caps. They're back once again with the crimson script A on the front for Alabama. Those caps, good luck. Obviously, a couple years ago in 2023, brought some good luck already this weekend.
You don't change anything when you got a winning streak going, so why change now?
Missouri in dark gray uniforms as we get ready for this game. Adams set on the mound against Lovich. He rocks back, and away we go. First pitch fastball just outside and low for ball one as we get started right on time. 1:02 here in Tuscaloosa. Mostly cloudy skies overhead, wind blowing out a little bit to right field. It is a comfortable 77 degrees. No direct sunlight on the field. Here's the 1-0. And Lovich takes low and inside on a fastball. Now it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Go from Riley Quick yesterday to Zane Adams, and as far as delivery is concerned, 2 different pitchers. Riley Quick more methodical, Zane Adams up tempo. When he starts going, you got to be as batter ready to go. It's quick.
Next pitch, swing, and that's fouled back.
Not Riley Quick, but just quick.
So 2 balls and a strike to Jackson Lovich. 346 average, 8 homers, along with 40 runs driven in. Adams peers in after getting the first strike. Here's his 2-1. Swing and a chopper goes foul. Down the third base side, that evens the count at 2-2.
Changeup for Zane Adams. And game one, for all those listeners, that Missouri scored 5 runs. It was all ultra aggressive to fastballs, like it was anything in the zone that they were swinging at. And the way you combat that is a very good changeup, and good thing for Alabama. Zane's got a good one.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. One batter faced, 1 strikeout for Zane Adams.
Check the box, fastball command, shown the ability to throw in the changeup as well. We'll be seeing if he gets that slider in there in this first inning.
1 away for Pierre Seals. No score as we're just getting going in the top of the first from Tuscaloosa. Alabama aiming to be the 7th team in SEC play that has swept Missouri. Tigers 0-20. Now lefty to righty, first pitch to Pierre Seals. Fastball for a strike, lower outside corner. Seals, one of the heroes of last night's game. That roster confusion with Brock Daniels going out. Seals came in. All he did was pick up 2 base hits, an RBI, and a walk. So he made his head coach look good. Garrett Jackson bringing him in off the bench. Here's a swing, a little chopper to the front of the mound. Adams has it, spins. The lefty with a low toss to first, but it's there for the out, and there are 2 gone.
The unconventional route being placed in the game, but he took advantage of that and getting the start today. But good work by Zane Adams, and it's a 3-pitch mix. We talked about fastball, changeup, and slider, and if you get working in the first inning and going first time through the lineup, you may not want to throw your slider, as if you can command fastball, changeup. It's just one look that they need to wait to the second time through.
First pitch to Knutson is laced foul, and that's strike 1 off the fastball at 92. Knutson, the shortstop, hitting .262, a pair of homers and 11 runs driven in. 0 for 2 yesterday, but twice hit by a pitch. 0 for 5 overall this weekend. Adams gets set, and the 0-1. Hit high, but foul. Line drive down the right field line. Adams quickly in front, 0-2.
Adams attacking with a fastball. It's sitting 92, 94. Changeup's going to be 81, 82. I call it a slurve, a mix between a curveball slider.
Base is empty with 2 gone. No score in the top of the first. Zane Adams with the 0-2 pitch. Went to the slurve and a called third strike. Knutson strikes out, 2 strikeouts, and a dominant top of the first for Zane Adams. Bottom of the first coming up. It's Missouri 0 and the Crimson Tide to the plate when we return. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Crimson Tide and Tigers scoreless as Alabama comes to the plate, bottom of the first. Starting lineups for the Crimson Tide presented by Coke Zero Sugar. Leading it off and in right field, Bryce Fowler. Batting second, the shortstop Justin LeBron. Cade Snell in left field, Snell batting third once again, followed by Richie Bonamolo Jr., the center fielder, batting cleanup. Brady Neal is catching, batting fifth. Garrett Satan at second base, batting in the sixth spot. Then it's Will Hodo at first base, Hodo batting seventh. Jason Torres, who homered last night, batting in the eighth spot and at third base. Coleman Mizell, the DH, one of the heroes from Thursday night's win. He is batting ninth for the Tide in the order as we get our first look, David, at Sam Horn on the mound.
Last start against Missouri State last Tuesday, and it's a sophomore coming off a medical redshirt last year, and I think it's going to be one of those bullpen games where It's a sophomore, but few innings for Horn. If you're Horn, you got to really empty the tank. You feel like, come at it, give us your best 1 to 2 innings. And what's really good about this Missouri team is you got assistant coach Tim Jamison, who's been on this staff for the last couple of years, but had prior been the head coach for 22 years from 95 to 2016. And you need that anchor as a coach, especially with a young pitching staff, for some consistency and some mentoring.
Overshift on to the right side of the infield. We'll go through the Tigers defensively in a moment. But first, Bryce Fowler at the plate, in from the left side. And then stepping off the rubber, extra time called by Horn. Left field, Tyler Macon, Caden Pierre in center, Pierre Seals in right fields. Now Horn's ready. And the first pitch. Fastball, little low at 95 for ball 1. Chris Patterson at third. Keegan Knutson is pulled over. The shortstop playing on the right side of the infield. Peyton Basler at second. Jackson Lovich at first, catching Mateo Cerna. Next pitch in there for a strike. Once again, a fastball at 93.
Good start for Horn. Coming in on Fowler, 94-95, competing. And as we said, it's one of these empty the tank. It's
1-1, little inside. Now 2-1. Fastball again at 95.
You throw everything in the kitchen sink on us. Your third game, if you haven't won one, if you're Missouri. So look to see any opportunity to continue.
2-1 is chopped foul, 2-2.
When I say continue, if Horn gets settled in, but any opportunity where the game is close, you're going to your best available and riding that until you get to the next. And for Alabama, it's no change. Coach Rob Vaughn talked about being sharper with runners in scoring position. You have to continue to press when you get the opportunity.
Next pitch is a little low and inside. And that'll make it 3 balls and 2 strikes. That was the best fastball he's thrown at 97. He keeps getting stronger as he goes along again. Also on the Missouri football roster, 2-way player injured, redshirted all of last year as a medical redshirt. Full count, 3-2. Low and inside, ball 4 on a fastball, and Bryce Fowler draws the leadoff walk.
Alabama understands that. I mean, yes, it's only been 1 inning for Horn, but you said it, Roger. This is a strong arm coming off an injury last year. You want to be delicate. You don't want to overdo this because Sam Horn still has a lot of upside, but there's also a really good Alabama offense.
Especially with this man at the plate, Justin LeBron. Shortstop hitting .315, 15 homers, 60 runs driven in. Sophomore from Miramar, Florida. First pitch. Shows bunt, pulls it back. That is in there. A fastball for a strike. No score in the bottom of the first. LeBron 1 for 8 so far this weekend. Trying to find some of his power. Has drawn a walk, 3 strikeouts mixed in, but no extra base hits for LeBron against Missouri. Horn from the stretch. And the 0-1. Stayed away with the slider outside, and the count evens 1-1.
Roger said 1 for 8 this weekend, and sometimes when you get a guy like Bryce Fowler on, you may start early with maybe a hit and run to kind of lighten the pressure on him. You just know you're going to swing at a pitch, and when at 1-1, this could be a good hit and run opportunity. 1-1.
Swing and a miss. Now it's 1-2, and for LeBron as well, it's kind of a quiet weekend against LSU. He's 3 for his last 28 in SEC competition. No score in the bottom of the first. Crimson Tide with Fowler at first base, nobody out. Horn from the stretch. And the 1-2. Fastball fouled away.
Roger said 3 for his last 28. And what I always watch as a former hitter is everybody at some point is going to go through a lull. And how is your demeanor in the box? Justin LeBron's is exactly the same. It stays the same. You really don't know his demeanor. We talked about 5 for 5, over 5. It's the same approach.
The 1-2. Fastball low at 95 from Horn, and the count evens to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Had some teammates of mine, you're trying to change something for golfers out there. You're trying to change your grip, trying to change the angle. You don't do that. You stick with what you got, and Justin LeBron's got all the tools in the world, and it's just a matter of time before he gets out of just a small slump.
Horn peeks over his shoulder at Fowler, then steps off the rubber. Thought maybe the pitch clock ran out as well, but count stays even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fowler into his leadoff first base. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first. 2-2. Slider, swing and a miss, strike 3. LeBron goes down swinging for the first out.
It's a 95, 96 mile an hour fastball with a tight slider that you saw from Justin against Justin LeBron. Expands the zone, and good first out.
Runner at first with 1 gone, no score, bottom of the first. Here's Cade Snell. 2 hits last night, including go-ahead 2-run homer for the Crimson Tide in the bottom of the third that made it an initial 2-0 Alabama lead. Horn looking over at first base at Fowler. Lefty batting Snell at the plate. And the first pitch. Fastball, called strike. Cade 3 for 8 this weekend with that home run, driving in 2 runs. After he showed some power last weekend as well in Baton Rouge against the LSU Tigers.
He's had a bit of a power surge. Be good to see that again today.
The 0-1, runner goes. Pitch, a breaking ball is tapped high in the air on a pop-up on the infield. Hustling back to first base is Fowler. Infield fly was not called as the pop-out is caught by Patterson. The third baseman pulled way over near the second base bag. Fowler back at first safely, and there are 2 gone on that pop-out by Cade Snell.
Definitely looked like a hit and run was on, and the shortstop tried to deke Bryce Fowler to think that that ball was going to be coming in for a double play to get him to slide. Fowler aware enough to understand, find the ball up in the air, and then retreat back to first.
No score in the bottom of the first. Richie Bonamolo Jr. 3 for 8 this weekend. All 3 hits last night, including a bunt single in addition to 2 sharp hits to left field. First pitch. Righty on righty. Slider spins low and away. For ball 1 to Bonamolo, hitting .340. 6 homers and 37 runs batted in.
I wouldn't be surprised again to listening to Coach Rob Vaughn having more quality at bats, and for an athletic guy like Richie Bonamolo, who's not going to have the bunt on, but has the ability to do it on his own.
1-0, runner goes. Pitch is fouled away. So Alabama's showing they will run with Bryce Fowler. You think more hit and run action for the Tide?
I think that was a straight up steal, and it's tough because as a hitter, you play the game long enough and you can see Bryce Fowler had that base stolen. And an aggressive hitter like Bonamolo, when you get a pitch you can hit, sometimes you want to let those go to let the runner get the bag, but at the same time you think if you can do damage. It just didn't work out for Fowler.
He's at first base with 2 gone and no score in the bottom of the first. 1-1 on Bonamolo. Horn is ready and the pitch. Inside fastball for a strike at 91. 1-2 on Bonamolo.
You saw that was a fastball, looked more like a 2-seam action at 90-91. So Horn showing you a lot of stuff, and while he might need showing opportunity for getting more innings.
The 1-2. Swing and a fly ball into center just over to his right. Caden Pierre tracks it down, makes the grab, and that will close out Alabama's bottom of the first. A leadoff walk, but then Horn gets the next 3 batters in order. Played 1 inning so far in Tuscaloosa. No score between Missouri and Alabama. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Downtown Tuscaloosa. Just make yourself at home at Homewood Suites, conveniently located in downtown. Stay in comfort and enjoy the great options of the on-site 205 bar and restaurant. Homewood Suites Tuscaloosa, proud to be a preferred hotel partner of the Crimson Tide. Those hotel rooms now for next weekend, graduation, everything that comes with that, just across the street at Coleman Coliseum. And then the week after that, we'll be here, Alabama against Georgia, and what will be the final 3 games of the regular season and the only games in May played at the Joe. Friday, May 9th at 6 p.m., 4 p.m. on Saturday, the 10th, and then 12 o'clock noon start to wrap up that Sunday series against Georgia, that 3-game series that'll start on Friday, May 9th. Next week, we'll be in Nashville. Here's Caden Peer to lead it off. Lefty on lefty, and the first pitch. Ben's low and outside for ball 1 to Caden Peer. 1 for 7 so far in this series. Twice hit by a pitch. Zane Adams back to work after he only needed 10 pitches in the first. And the 1-0. Swing and a bouncing ball right to second. Back of the dirt. Staten's got it. Throws out Peer to start the top of the second.
Zane Adams crossed the box off. Coach Rob Vaughn talked about sharper when you step on the mound. Completed that in the first inning. Now again, like Riley Quick did, getting ahead with first pitch strike, that's a recipe for Zane Adams. It's one thing you got the stuff, but when you're able to do that and command each at bat, especially in the SEC, you got to be able to do that, and you can get deeper into games like Riley Quick did.
First pitch to Chris Patterson. Missed a little low and inside for ball 1. Patterson, a double and a triple last night. He has been wearing out the Crimson Tide in this series. C-bats with no one on base and 1 gone for Mizzou.
He's definitely the batter in the lineup you're circling and saying we got to put our best stuff.
Here's a swing and a line drive hit high to right field. Fowler drifts back and on the track. He'll make the catch. Now there are 2 gone. More solid contact from Patterson.
He's seeing the ball well, and again, last night he hit one, you mentioned it, Roger, he hit it off the left center wall, and he was booking around second and third, and it was 2 outs. I was surprised they held him up. The ball was wet. It careened off the wall, but held him up, and Tide was able to work out of that inning.
Now 2 away for Tyler Macon. First time we've seen him in this series, getting the start in left field. And the first pitch on the way. Swing and a miss for strike 1 for Macon. He has played in 26 games, 17 starts, .309 average with 1 homer and 5 runs driven in.
That was a really tight slider. Started right at the belt for Mateo and just dropped off the table.
Bases empty, 2 gone, 0-1. Swing and a tapper back to the mound. Adams has it over to first. Inning over. Easy does it once again for Zane Adams, getting a 1-2-3, top of the second. Bottom of the second coming up. Still scoreless from Tuscaloosa. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Crimson Tide and the Mizzou Tigers scoreless. We get set for the bottom of the second. Some good news in the NFL drafts. Didn't get to mention it last night, but congratulations to Jalen Milroe, selected by the Seattle Seahawks. We'd love to see that for Jalen Milroe, 3rd-round selection with the number 92 overall pick. And then already today, some good news for some of Milroe's teammates. Malachi Moore, selected by the New York Jets in round 4, and also Q Robinson selected by the Denver Broncos. So Alabama's success in the draft continues.
Hey, congrats to Jalen Milroe, but I don't know if you fans out there got to watch it. Who got to announce his being drafted was UA legend football player Sean Alexander, Seahawks great.
Pretty
and
special.
He was pretty fired up about it, and rightly so.
Also, Sam Horn on the mound for Missouri. He was a high school teammate in football with the reigning Heisman Trophy winner and the number 2 overall pick by the Jacksonville Jaguars, Travis Hunter.
Some good research right there, Roger.
Here's Brady Neal, first pitch on the way. And that swung on, a laser beam liner down the left field line for a base hit, rolling all the way into the left field corner. Brady Neal hustling to second base. He's got a double, and he's got a 10-game hitting streak.
Number 10 and riding a 10-game hitting streak, and take care of that with your first at bat. And Brady Neal is at his best when he is working that 6-hole. It's a compact swing. He's not trying to pull and let that shoulder fly out, and very good leadoff double for the Tide.
So now Neal at second base, nobody out, no score in the bottom of the second. I did have that note on Hunter, but if not for the SEC Network broadcasts, led by our friend, producer Bree Falcon, probably would have dropped it in right then, but saw it on the screen, went with it. Here is Garrett Staten at the plate.
The consummate pro.
First pitch on the way, high and off the plate for ball 1.
Referring to Bree.
Yes. Here is Staten hitting .323, 6 homers, along with 23 runs driven in. He's got Neal at second, nobody out. Horn looks back at second, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, and the count to an even 1 ball and 1 strike.
Circling this at bat right here. This is the Coach Rob Vaughn wanting more quality at bats. You got to be able to move the runner over to third right here with nobody out.
The 1-1. Fastball lined into left field for a base hit. Brady Neal will stop at third. Single by Staten puts men on the corners. Nobody out to start this Alabama bottom of the second.
Roger, that'll move him over to third. Line drive shot in the 6-hole to put him on the corners for another hot hitting Will Hodo.
Anthony Papio held Brady Neal at third base. Coach Papio, the third base coach. Mike Morrison, the first base coach, visiting with Garrett Staten. All part of the staff for second-year head coach Rob Vaughn, along with the pitching coach, associate head coach Jason Jackson. That's Will Hodo, hitting .292, 10 home runs, 36 RBI, stepping in from the left side. Hodo driving in a run last night when he was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. Also homered for the Tide in Thursday's win. Righty versus lefty with men on the corners, nobody out. First pitch. Fastball missed, low and outside, ball 1.
Runners on the corners, defensive alignment for Missouri. Corners are cheating in. Middle infielders conceding a run, hopeful for a ground ball double play up the middle.
There's no score in the bottom of the second. Horn from the stretch. And steps off the rubber. Been a few timing issues like that, or just a little bit of extra time given to Horn, who's working his way back from injury, only the second time he started. Now 1-0, and the pitch. Low and inside. We talk all the time about the pitch clock, men on base, things like that. It's just really hard to simulate until you're in a game-like situation.
It is, and we touched on it yesterday. Some pitchers want to work methodically and work on their own time, and this pitch clock is not really made for them. It's made for the guy that's just chomping at the bits, that just wants to grab the ball and go so quickly.
Look at third, 2-0. Fastball inside, but ruled a strike at 94. 2-1.
That's a good bounce back pitch right there. You knew he was going to come with a fastball 2-0, and painted one at 94 on the inner half.
A little bit of sunlight on the field with men on the corners, nobody out. Horn, the tall right-hander from the stretch. 2-1. Swing, and that's fouled away. Deep down the left side, 2-2 on Hodo as that caromed off the front of the roof, went down to the first row. All right, behind the Crimson Tide dugout.
If you come to the Joe, you got to be ready. Might catch a foul ball. Sun's starting to peak. Beautiful day out here, Roger.
Staten into his leadoff first base. Neal at third with nobody out. 2-2. Breaking ball is swung on and popped up. That's high. Foul territory behind home. Cerna flips the mask. Catcher near the Mizzou dugout can only watch as that'll go into the third row of seats. Second row of seats in Section G. Foul ball keeps the count even at 2-2.
No outs as a hitter are always no fun if you make an out, but the most demoralizing one, it just seemed like it when you popped it up behind home plate and the catcher catches it and you just watch him catch it. So hopefully for Hodo, put something in play and get the tide on the board.
Scoreless in the bottom of the second. 2-2. Fastball swung on and drilled. High, deep right field, and gone! Will Hodo with his second homer of this series, a 3-run shot to right. And in the bottom of the second, it's now Alabama 3, Missouri nothing.
Just a simple approach. 2-strike fastball, and Will Hodo flushed that into the right field Rager area. 3-run shot for the Tide.
Left his bat at 108 miles per hour. It traveled 408 feet. Great start to this inning for the Tide.
Roger, that ball was tagged. It was a short, compact swing. It wasn't that ball had some giddy up coming off the bat.
Hodo has now tied his career high. Last year, his first year as an everyday starter, hit 11 home runs. Well, he's got 11 homers before the month of May. First pitch on the way to Torres. Homered last night. Takes a fastball high for a ball. Crimson Tide with the advantage. Mateo Cerna will come out and speak with Sam Horn on the mound. They do have a left-hander getting loose in the bullpen, with Horn only making his second start, working his way back from injury. And that left-hander's name is Tony Newbeck. But if you're Mizzou, you just can't afford to let this game get out of control. They not only lost, of course, every game last week against Oklahoma, they were run ruled in every ball game.
That's right. And again, Horn, good start in the first. Started getting hit, back-to-back hits, and then Hodo delivering a home run. And you got to, as good as the first inning was, you got to work out of this or you have a short leash, and Coach Jackson from Mizzou has to go to the next guy.
Base is empty, still nobody out. 3 runs have scored. After ball 1, here's the next pitch. Torres takes a slider for a strike, and that evens things up at 1-1. Torres hits in the first 2 games of the series 2 for 6. Last night's home run off the scoreboard and left his 9th homer for the Tide this year. Base is empty, nobody out. Horn on the first base side of the rubber, 1-1. Slider is swung on and delivered high and deep in the air to left field. A towering shot. Jason Torres past the playground. Makes it 4-0 Alabama in the bottom of the second.
That's like deja vu, Roger. You teed it up, talked about his home run yesterday. It was a hanging slider. Got it again, and I hope there's an insurance agent out there that might do some damage to some cars out there.
That ball's still bouncing towards the School of Law. Home run by Torres. He's now up to 10 homers this year, and he's homered in back-to-back games for Bama.
I was about to say you were hopeful game 2's home run would give you enough confidence to get back in the swing of things, and man, did he deliver on that one. Wow, 103 off the bat, 402 distance.
First pitch to Mizell, who can hit the ball a country mile. He takes that one low and inside for ball 1. Sophomore from Hartzell had the game-winning 2-run homer on Thursday night. 4-0 Alabama, still nobody out. No one on base after the Torres home run and the pitch by Horn. Low and in to make it 2-0.
The mode of offense for this weekend for Alabama has been mostly the home run, and that's Coach Rob Vaughn's MO. He wants guys being offensive, and man, have they done that this weekend.
7 homers now for the Tide. As that fastball hit Mizell in his right shoe, he's hit by the pitch and will go down to first base.
Looked like a slider. It got away, hit him on that ankle guard. It clipped it clean. You could hear it No pain there. You take it. Still no outs.
Derek Jackson, the head coach for Missouri, coming out to the mound. This may be it with Newbeck ready to go in the bullpen. Sam Horn had a scoreless first inning, worked around a leadoff walk, getting 3 solid outs against LeBron, Snell, and Bonamolo. But here in this innings, Brady Neal's doubled, single by Staten, set up the 3-run homer by Hodo, followed by a solo shot by Jason Torres. 4-0 Crimson Tide with the lead. And that will be it for Sam Horn. So we'll take a look at the Missouri bullpen for the rest of this ball game. We're in the bottom of the second, still with nobody out and a man at first. It's Alabama building up a 4-0 lead against Missouri. Time for a pitching change. This is Alabama baseball from Learfield. Alabama 4, Missouri nothing. We're still in the bottom of the second with nobody out. Coleman Mizell at first, already 4 runs across the plate for the University of Alabama. Taking over on the mound for Missouri, Tony Newbeck, a left-hander, 6'2", 237 pounds, a junior from Hugo, Minnesota. So far for him this season, Newbeck, 5 appearances, 3 starts, 0-2, and he got ERA north of 21 at 21.6. Only 6 2/3 innings. He's given up 16 runs on 15 hits, 8 walks, 5 strikeouts. Batters against him hitting .469 as Missouri will try and piece the rest of this game together on the mound.
Newbeck, similar to Horn, coming off a medical redshirt last year, and so that's why you see just a few appearances trying to get his arm back in there. And it's going to be one of those. He's not gone over 2 innings in those appearances, so it's probably going to be give us your best. Like we talked about, empty the tank, 1 inning, get us out of this jam. But it's going to be a 2-pitch mix and a fastball, 88, 89, and a slider.
Now on top of the order to the plate for the Crimson Tide, Bryce Fowler, first man to face Newbeck in a lefty-on-lefty matchup with Coleman Mizell at first. No one out. First pitch. Fastball rises high for ball 1. Fowler, a walk first time up, ended up being stranded at first base when the Crimson Tide could not capitalize against Horn. Certainly did so in the second pitch. Swing, and he crushes it. High, deep right field, all the way to the Rangers. 2-run homer, Bryce Fowler. Alabama has now a 6-0 lead in the bottom of the second. Still nobody out.
Just a nice piece of hitting right there by Bryce Fowler. Got his pitch logged on to the Gone Network. Got a cheap one for the right field Rangers.
Home run number 5 for Bryce Fowler.
Like a fastball on the inner half. I don't know if that one was a strike, but Fowler good enough with his hands to keep him inside. And
6-0 Tide, still nobody out. First pitch to LeBron. Lefty to righty, a fastball rises high for ball 1. 3 home runs this inning by Alabama, all of them no doubt shots. Hodo, Torres, and now Bryce Fowler. 1-0, here it is. Here's a swing and a bouncing ball past the diving shortstop into left field for a base hit. Justin LeBron aboard with his 2nd hit of the weekend.
Good to see Justin LeBron get in on a little bit of the hit parade.
Now it's Cade Snell to the plate. Crimson Tide still nobody out in this inning. 6 runs across the plate. A 7th man just got to first, so here is Cade Snell. Six nothing Crimson Tide, bottom of the second. Zane Adams certainly doing his part. 6 quick outs. His 2 innings of work. First pitch to Snell, a check swing on a fastball, and that is strike 1.
Inning going a little bit longer. You saw Zane Adams down the left field dugout.
0-1. Dips low and inside. Catcher bobbles. Cerna throw to second on LeBron, and LeBron head first. He's safe. Wild pitch putting LeBron at second base.
Aggressiveness still. 6 runs. Justin LeBron sees an opportunity. Catcher Cerner blocks it, but it's one of those where you're reading dirt ball and you push the envelope, and this is the opportunities. And Coach Rob Vaughn, and it doesn't matter. It's a second inning. You keep going. You keep pressing. Nobody out.
Look back at second. LeBron dancing there. Slid for a moment. The pitch is low and outside for a ball. On the slider. Now it's 2-1. For a tight offense that we can say scuffling just a bit. Yes, Alabama posting 7 runs back-to-back games, but 2-1. Fastball high. Everything on Thursday was via home runs. Last night, able to piece together some runs later in the ballgame, but still a lot of damage to the long ball. Just Alabama wants to get back to its true offensive self that maybe we saw first half of the year.
I think you got that in your sound bites with Coach Rob Vaughn when he was talking about it. He said it's not that I'm upset.
3-1. Called strike. Fastball makes it 3-2.
Not that I'm upset, and we've shown some flashes to be offensive, but Coach Rob Vaughn and this Alabama club see themselves as the elites in the SEC, and playing against the elites in the SEC, you can't let off.
Payoff pitch. Swing and a fly ball going high and deep the opposite way down the left field line. Making on a dive. He can't make the catch. That falls in as a fair ball for a base hit. LeBron scores. RBI double. Cade Snell. 8-0 Alabama in the bottom of the second. 7-0, I beg your pardon.
Ball on the outer half. Cade Snell, 2-strike approach. Runs it down. It's great effort by Macon, but he can't make the play on a dive and keeps this inning going. 7-0 Tide.
So here is Richie Bonamolo Jr. Still nobody out in this inning. First 7 men have gotten on base and scored. Then the 8th man just got on base, Cade Snell. Bonamolo is the only batter that has not hit, and there's no activity for the Tigers in their bullpen as Newbeck has a conversation with Mateo Cerna, his catcher.
I'm going to keep on saying this. The scouting report doesn't lie. Cade Snell is a guy that uses all the field, and most of the defenses play him to pull, and he can hit the ball on the pull side with authority, but he goes the opposite way, and he did that. He sees the ball deep, and that's, he started out at Auburn, transferred, goes junior college, and played here last year. 2-way player, saw some time on the mound, but man, he decided to go all offense, and he's delivering today.
7-0 Crimson Tide, bottom of the second. It's been a 7-run inning, still no one out. Newbeck looks at second, first pitch. Bonamolo takes a fastball for a strike, lower outside corner. Richie, first time up, a fly out to center field. Closed out the first inning. We have not seen Missouri record an out since then on the mound. Snell at second, nobody out. And the 0-1. Breaking ball, a check swing, that's low. Ball and a strike.
Newbeck hadn't really had any opportunity to incorporate the off-speed. Alabama's been very offensive, aggressive to the fastball, and have not missed.
1-1, curveball for a strike, and it's 1-2.
There was no doubt about a curveball. It had more of a 12-6.
Slow as well at 70 miles per hour. Snell at second with nobody out. 9th hitter to the plate this inning. Pitch. Swing and a fly ball going high and deep to right center. Seals moving back to the track. He will play it off the wall for a base hit. Cade Snell gets away from Coach Papio around third. He'll score. RBI double, Bonamolo. It's 8-0 Alabama. Still no one out, bottom of the second.
This is the recipe for Alabama offense. Rogers' interview with Coach Rob Vaughn, and I think that the message was heard loud and clear today. It's, hey, we're swinging the bat well, but let's just put an inning together. Let's be complete. And this lineup, top to bottom, has delivered. And Richie Bonamolo going the other way in the gap to lengthen this lead out to 8.
Here's the man that got it going. Leadoff double, Brady Neal. He bats still with nobody out. This has been an 8-run bottom of the second. Crimson Tide just love this inning. First pitch on the way. Fastball for a strike. Earlier this season had a 13-run bottom of the second against, I believe, Jacksonville State. And right now, this one could be on its way towards a similar number. 8-0 here in the bottom of the second. And the pitch. Check swing. That's low and outside. And the count goes to an even 1 ball and 1 strike. So far this season, well, at least coming into the series, Alabama is outscoring teams 71-16 in the second inning. By far, Alabama scored more in the second than any other individual inning this year. Here's a swing, and that's popped foul. Now it's 1-2. Next closest is the third inning with 47 runs. Coming into the weekend again, things have changed over the last few days, but what do you make of what we've seen in the second inning this year?
I was looking at the opposite side of what we've allowed. You talked on it, 71.
Now the 1-2. Swing, and that's fouled back.
71 runs Alabama scored, but the low outside of the ninth inning, it's all the lowest that Alabama's allowed in the second inning, being 16 outside of the ninth inning. So that just tells me, hey, a lot of those innings were quick, no runs scored, and gave you some time to catch your breath and then be offensive.
1-2. Neal will swing and miss at a curveball, strike 3, and as the 10th batter to the plate, he is the first out in this bottom of the second, a strikeout thanks to the slow curve by Neubeck.
Yeah, Neubeck just started throwing that curveball about 2 batters ago and got Neal on that strikeout, so first out of the inning.
Now Garrett Staten to the plate. Single last time up. First pitch. Curveball high. Staten is single to left field. He's got Bonamolo standing at second base. And only one gone. 8-0. Crimson Tide have built the lead in the bottom of the second. Remember the run rule margin, 10 runs after 7. Alabama trying to get to that in this inning alone. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a slow bouncing ball left side. It'll be the third baseman Patterson cutting off his shortstop. He'll field it, throw to first for the out. Taking third base will be Bonamolo on a ground out by Garrett Staten to third.
Nice play right there by Patterson, charging it, making the play, and Will Hodo getting a little praise from the home crowd.
3-run homer that was just demolished. Last time up. Now he's got a runner at third base, Bonamolo, with 2 gone. Lefty on lefty, the pitch. Curveball high and off the plate for ball 1. 11 homers for Will Hodo, again matching his career high total from a year ago. One-zero pitch. Takes a slider this time for a strike, and it's 1-1.
2 really good off-speed pitches for Neubeck. He didn't really get time to even break a sweat, and now he's starting to find that release on the slider and curve.
1-1 goes to a fastball. A swing and a miss by Hodo. 1-2.
There's a curveball first pitch at 69 miles an hour, a slider at 73, and then a fastball around 89, 90 miles an hour. So Will Hodo's seen it all.
He's got Bonamolo at third, 2 gone, 1-2. Cracked foul right behind home on another fastball. 1-2. Eight-run bottom of the second for Alabama. 8 runs on 8 hits in this inning. Only 1 free pass by Mizzou. That was a hit batter. Breaking ball, a check swing, and that's called third strike. And Hodo is out to close out the inning, but the damage certainly done. 8 runs on 8 hits for the Crimson Tide. We go to the top of the third. Zane Adams has some run support with an 8-0 lead against Missouri. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Top of the third, Alabama 8 and Missouri nothing. This third inning brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance. Go to RolledTide.com/AutoOwners to partner with an independent Alabama agent who can provide local, personalized insurance expertise today. Well, Zane Adams, long time to wait. 16 pitches he's had so far in this ball game to get 6 outs. Perfect first and second. Now he's got all the run support you can handle, and sometimes that can force a pitcher to get a little bit off focus. Hopefully that won't be the case for Zane Adams, getting all those runs a moment ago in the second.
Roger, that was about the only downside of that inning, but I promise you Zane Adams will take that. Gives him some room to just go right after batters at this point. You don't have to be fine-tuned with this. You've got a very good lead. You let your defense play. Go at them with fastballs.
Mateo Cerna, first man to the plate. Right-handed batter, first pitch by Adams. Swing, and here's a high fly ball deep in the air to left. Backing up on it, Cade Snell. He's to the warning track. He is up at the wall. He will reach for it, but this one is gone. Leadoff home run by Mateo Cerna for Missouri. Makes it an 8-1 score in the top of the third.
I think that was exactly what Cerna was thinking. He was just trying to ambush a fastball right there, and he got it. And there's some type of jet stream in left field. That ball was hit extremely high and just kept going.
Rob Vaughn coming together with the umpires, and they will all talk about this last play, it appears.
He wasn't on the roster.
We have seen Mateo Cerna already catch an inning in this series, so let's see. As all 4 umpires talk for just a moment. Now the microphone will be turned on. Eight-1 our score. We're in this top of the third, and
Roger, I'm not going to take a stab at this one.
No.
I struck out.
Here we go. Hang on. Alabama challenging the home run that was hit out to left center field. It was pretty close along the wall. Now, I thought I saw a youngster come up with it beyond the fence.
Now, Roger, I don't have great vision. Seriously, if you can look in your binoculars out there on the 360 marker, so where the home run was hit, for all those listening out there, that's where the gates open up to let transportation or the grounds crew come in and do their work. So what I'm thinking is there a gap in that opening in the green spaces that home run exited but did not go over the fence?
I think there's still some chain link behind that gap, it looks like, but
that's what they're looking at. But
slight opening.
I don't know if there's be interesting to see if there's outside of the camera angle kind of in the booth where we are. I don't know if there's any other angle out there.
Now, one thing, you have the camera angles from the SEC network. Umpire. So the call is a home run. the Hawkeye cameras that slow everything down, get so much picture into the frame rates. As Cade Snell, again, reach for it. Taking a look at the replays now. They don't have the Hawkeye cameras, and this ball did clear the fence, it appears.
Being Missouri's first home run of the weekend.
Yep.
I think if that had been overturned, I think Coach Jackson would have gone ballistic. But that was
First pitch low and inside to Basler. Just finish that point. You have the Hawkeye cameras trained at the bases. They do not have that technology or enough cameras yet for every SEC school to have them completely looking at the outfield. I think one day we'll get to that, and I imagine in the major leagues they have that technology. It's low and inside. So that would have been very hard to overturn, but it looked like on the replay we just saw a moment ago, the ball did clearly go over the top of the fence. Now 2-0 to Peyton Basler and the pitch. Switch hitter batting from the right side takes low 3-0, and Zane Adams giving up a home run and now falling behind 3 balls and no strikes on Basler. After Adams had set down 6 in a row to begin this game. 3-0 pitch. There's the strike.
we talked about Zane Adams. It doesn't have to be fine. It's 8-1 score. Yeah, you gave up a solo home run, and this team's going to be looking fastball, but that's okay.
3-1. Swing and a line drive into center, but playable for Bonamolo to his right. Makes a chest high catch for the out.
That's living down in the zone with his fastball and letting a really good defender in Bonamolo run one down for the first one.
8-1 Crimson Tide in the top of the third. Here is Garrig Goldbeck, the DH, hitting .270, stepping in from the left side. Lefty on lefty. And the first pitch. Fastball for a strike, lower outside corner. Goldbeck 3 for 7, all singles for his base hits against the Crimson Tide this weekend. Now the 0-1. Low one outside on a fastball, and the count evens to 1 ball and 1 strike. (8-1) Crimson Tide leading in the top of the third. Now the 1-1. Low and outside, and the count's at 2 balls and a strike on Garrig Goldbeck.
That's Adams' 24th pitch, now into the third inning, so been really effective thus far with his number of pitches.
2-1 is spotted for a strike. Fastball lower outside corner, and it's 2-2.
Goldbeck asking where that was, didn't like it. Looked like it just caught that outer half, but very good pitch by Zane Adams.
Base is empty, 1 gone. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a bouncing ball right to the second baseman. Playing it on the dirt, 1 bobble for Staten, but he recovers, throws him out, and there are 2 gone.
Just like to see that. Again, you get to those spots, you get 3 balls. Put one in the zone at this point. The last thing you want to do is give free bases and let Missouri get back methodically in this game.
Base is empty, 2 gone. 8-1 the score. Here's Jackson Lovich. Second at bat for him, representing top of the order. He waves and misses at a first pitch, strike 1. Lovich struck out first time up. Adams ready with the 0-1 pitch. Fastball bounced back to the mound off the glove of Adams, slowly to second base. No chance for Staten to make a play. That'll be an infield single for Lovich.
Lovich leads the club with 8 home runs, and earlier this inning, Cerna got his 7th home runs. Those are the home run leaders for Missouri, and we talked about methodically putting hits together, and that's the way Missouri offense work. It's not going to be an overly offensive and home run club. They string together 3, 4, 5 hits, kind of like they did in game 1 in the first inning.
Runner at first, 2 gone for Pierre Seals. First pitch is outside on slider for ball 1. Seals a ground out to second base. First trip to the plate. 8-1 Crimson Tide leading. 8 runs for Alabama, bottom of the second. Solo home run by Cernit, starting the top of the third for Mizzou. Now the 1-0. Over the plate for a strike. And now it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Pierre Seals.
And Zane Adams trying to find his fastball command again. Fortunately for him, he can rely on the off-speed pitching. Off-speed pitches right now, he's able to put him where he wants it.
The 1-1. Fastball, strike call, lower inside corner at 91 miles per hour. Lovich at first base with 2 gone. 8-1 Alabama leads Missouri, top of the third. Adams is ready. And the pitch. Bounces into home plate. Blocked in the dirt by Brady Neal. Lovich staying at first.
We talked about Adams' pitch count right now at 32, and we want him to, he wants to be more effective with his pitches and his pitch count. Ultimately, if you have a lead like this, if you can ride it longer, you don't have to tax the bullpen any arms. And like you talked about, Roger, you're about to go on the road for a while. You need every arm available.
A look at first base. Now Adams with the 2-2. A throw to first, runner going. Hodo's got it on to the shortstop. LeBron with a swipe tag for the out. Inning over. Lovich caught stealing. Tigers won't score. However, they will challenge this play. The call at second base. So the Crimson Tide will have to stay on the field defensively as Missouri will challenge the out at second.
Lovich going on first move. All that means is when the pitcher picks his leg up, no matter what happens, he's going, and it's one of those once you go, you commit to it, and he did, and that was a bang play. It'd be interesting to see if we can get a look on it.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Thomas Stadium, where the call on the field out at second base on Jackson Lovich. Missouri wanted to have a replay review immediately. Haven't seen many looks on the SEC network broadcasts. Decisions in from Birmingham. After review, the runner's out. So that will close out the inning. We're in the top of the third, going to the bottom of the third. It's Alabama, an 8-1 lead against Missouri. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. (8-1) Crimson Tide leading the Missouri Tigers. We welcome you back to the bottom of the third and to the Alabama Credit Union broadcast booth. Roger Hoover alongside former Crimson Tide player and coach David Kindred. Ethan Carabin also in the booth. He is producing our booth cam presented by MLB The Show 25. Available to download on all of your favorite gaming platforms. MLB The Show 25. Appreciate Ethan already getting out some of the highlights that we've seen in that last inning, including a 3-run homer by Will Hodo, 2-run shot by Bryce Fowler. Check those out, all of our social media platforms at UA_CTSN. And, of course, Jerry Kelly producing this game back at our Learfield studios. Well, the Crimson Tide, last inning, 8 runs on 8 hits. Jason Torres had one of those hits, a home run to left field. He is now homered for the Crimson Tide. Back-to-back games and back-to-back at-bats. Newbeck on the mound, lefty to righty. First pitch, swing, and a foul tip for strike one as he tried to hit that one all the way to McFarland.
He was trying to outdo his last home run.
Strike one on the foul tip from the left-hander Newbeck, and the pitch. High for a ball. Count evens 1-1.
If you like video games like MLB The Show, you got that last inning. It was
1-1, a swing and a line drive. One bouncer to the second baseman. Back of the dirt, Basler gathers and throws to first for the out. Yeah, if you're hitting home runs like that, MLB The Show, need to bump up the difficulty, right?
Yes. Or you're playing on all your players bumped up to 99 overall.
I was guilty of that a lot. At that time, the Cubs had not won a World Series, so that was my only way to see that happen. But that was 20 years ago. Here is Coleman Mizell, hit by a pitch last time up. Lefty on lefty, and the first pitch from Newbeck rises high and outside. Mizell, only free pass in that last inning for the Crimson Tide when he was hit by a pitch, but that set up the two-run home run by Bryce Fowler. 8-1 Crimson Tide leading in the bottom of the third. Here it is. That's low, and the count to 2 balls and no strikes to Coleman Mizell. Newbeck just more than anything trying to calm this game down. He's already, as that pitch is swung on and chopped foul. Newbeck's already given up 3 runs on his own. Starter Horn charged with 5 runs that he allowed to begin this game.
Over the last 3 games, it's really been, offense has been led by the bottom half of this Alabama lineup.
2-1. Fastball, strike. Lower outside corner, and it's 2-2.
Garrett Staten, Coleman Mizell, Jason Torres as of late, Brady Neal.
Now the 2-2. Curveball, low and outside, and the count runs full. 3-2.
And I'll tell you, I honestly liked hitting in those spots. And a lot of times traditionally 6 or 7, but there's nothing wrong with hitting in those spots right there.
3-2. Fastball, called third strike just as Mizell dropped the bat. Thinking he got a walk. He strikes out looking. There are 2 gone.
Bounce back inning for Newbeck, was able to expand that zone with a fastball. Mizell didn't like it. That's a strike 3 for one of the home run hitters from last inning, Bryce Fowler.
6 in a row set down by Newbeck. Lefty on lefty, first pitch to Fowler. High for a ball, yes. Bryce Fowler with a 2-run homer to right field. Again, his 5th home run for the Crimson Tide this season. Next pitch, low and outside for a ball. He's had been stuck on 4 home runs for the Crimson Tide for quite a while. Count at 2-0 to Fowler. Now the pitch, strike call. I believe for Fowler, last home run came against Tennessee. Second weekend of conference play. Now the 2-1 pitch. He swings and a line drive into right field, dropping in for a hit. Pierre Seals was running in. The right fielder maybe thought about trying to lay out and dive for that ball, but instead had to slam on the brakes as Fowler picks up a single. He's been on base 3 times today.
Fastball inner half, didn't quite get the sweet spot on it, but strong enough to get it out there for a single to keep this inning alive.
RBI opportunity for Justin LeBron. Leads the team, one of the best in the nation, with 60 runs batted in. Hasn't driven in a run so far in this series. 8-1 Alabama, bottom of the third. Pitch, fastball high for a ball. Well hit ball to left field by LeBron last time up. Second hit of the weekend. Throw to first. Fowler back in, standing up.
Newbeck keeping an eye on Fowler, one of the top threats to steal a bag, and Bryce Fowler only behind Richie Bonamolo.
1-0 pitch. Fastball a little high and in, and now LeBron in a 2-ball, no strike count.
You just get, when you get in these 2-0 opportunities, you get somewhat amped up to feel like you got to do something. For Justin LeBron, it's keeping the same approach, being aggressive to a pitch, but staying in the middle of the zone.
2-0. Fastball high, 3 balls and no strikes.
And Justin LeBron doesn't even look in the dugout. I don't know if that's just he just knows he's got an open opportunity, but I think that's confidence in knowing he knows how to. He's looking for one in a little can.
3-0. Runs inside ball 4. 4-pitch walk, really nothing hittable there for LeBron.
I'll get some more action going in the Tiger bullpen. It's one thing to give up hits, home runs. Allowing free passes and 4 straight balls is going to get Coach Jackson's.
Brock Lucas is the right-hander.
Get that telephone going and get the bullpen going.
2 on with 2 gone, a spin and a throw back to second base. Fowler back in, standing up. Newbeck against Snell. Cade, an RBI double already in this game for the Crimson Tide, part of the 8-run bottom of the second. First pitch. Breaking ball is softly tapped into center for a base hit. It gets just past Basler. Rounding third base Fowler. He's home. RBI single, Cade Snell, 9-1 Crimson Tide.
Well, like a slider on the inner half, it fist kind of on the fist, but Cade Snell strong enough with his swing to get it out there in the outfield to get a run home, and Bryce Fowler on the corners here with 2 outs. I don't know that. We'll see if Newbeck gets another hitter. A righty warming in the pen for the Tigers.
We always talk about hard hit balls with the advanced metrics, the exit speed. That one was 70 miles per hour off the bat. Usually hard hit, you say around 100 miles per hour or above. First pitch, Bonamolo, a line drive single. That's hard hit to center. That'll drop in for a base hit, bring home Justin LeBron, and just like that, RBI single Bonamolo makes it 10-1 Alabama.
It was, Roger. That was a hard hit ball by Bonamolo, but nothing more frustrating for a ball coming off about 105 that you just square up and the center fielder catches it for the out. So I'll take fisted 70-mile-an-hour jam job up the middle for an RBI all day.
And that one about 20 miles per hour more off the bat for Bonamolo. 2 on, 2 gone for Brady Neal. Newbeck remains on the mound. Now on the pitch. Strike, lower outside corner on a fastball. So Alabama gave up a run on the Cerna homer top of the third. 2 runs have scored with 2 outs here for the Crimson Tide. 2 on with 2 gone for Brady Neal. Double earlier. Pitch. He swings at a soft fly ball that'll be popped to the second baseman, and finally coming in, Basler will make the catch, and on the infield, that fly out will close out the inning. But 2-run strike with 2 outs for Alabama. Let's roll to the 4th. It's 10-1 Crimson Tide over the Tigers. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Crimson Tide 10, Missouri Tigers 1. We start at the top of the fourth. Perfect time for you to enjoy some Bojangles. Download the new Bojangles app and bring the flavor to your next baseball tailgate with all the chicken, the biscuits, and the fixings just by ordering ahead on the convenient Bojangles app, where it's bow time, y'all. Start at the top of the fourth. Crimson Tide still with Zane Adams on the mound. Adams bounced back after giving up the home run. Got 2 quick outs, a single to Jackson Lovich, who was then caught stealing, to close out the inning. 2 runs have scored for the Crimson Tide to make it a 10-1 lead against Missouri here in the top of the fourth. Alabama aiming for a sweep that would really put the Crimson Tide in a good spot. Alabama gets the win today. You're talking about a team that's 12-9, getting ready for the final 3 weekends of SEC play.
You're exactly right, Roger. And it doesn't matter how you get to 15, 16, 17 SEC wins. You got to take care of the one today, and whether you sweeping, getting a series, but taking care of your business, and that's good to see regardless of the opponent thus far for Alabama.
Pierre Seals at the plate. First pitch swung on and popped up. That'll be high left side of the infield on the grass. Torres, LeBron both there. It'll be Justin LeBron making the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Starts Zane Adams, top of the fourth.
1 pitch, 1 out. And good to see the start for Zane Adams, and also good to see him get some run support. I think there was some times where he was trying to be so fine in some of his starts where he didn't have a lot of room. I mean, playing from behind some games or only having 1 run of support at the time.
First pitch to Knutson, the shortstop, missing for a ball. We've seen that affect just so many Friday night starters, even throughout recent Alabama years. Ben Hess at times is plagued by that, even last year, as well as he pitched for the Crimson Tide before being drafted by the Yankees. 1-0. Swinging a liner up the middle. A lone liner bounces quickly on the dirt behind the pitcher's mound and into center for a base hit. Knutson singles up the middle for Mizzou.
We touched on Zane Adams started out the gate as the Friday night guy, and just how sometimes the SEC schedule works, and they want to get the opportunity for games to be exclusively on TV on Thursday nights, which are great, but not so great for starting rotations, and because you have to think about everybody's going to be on a short day.
Caden Pierre next to the plate, lefty on lefty, and a throw to first. Close play, safe will be the call.
Zane Adams is a Friday night guy with Friday night stuff, and it's just a matter of time before he gets there. And I think it's kind of more of the last couple of weekends have been Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. Thursday, Friday, Saturdays.
First pitch to Pierre is swung on and looped high in the air to center. Over to his right, it will be Bonamolo making the catch for the out. Pierre set down on the first pitch he sees, so 2 first pitch outs here in the fourth around the single by Knutson.
He's looked really good, Adams, today. 36 pitches at this point in the fourth. Shown his fastball command, slurve is what I call it, and changeup when he's needed to throw it. And he's not been anything that you can get a report from a standpoint he's going to throw it at a certain count. He's been able to throw it behind and in command of counts.
First pitch to Patterson. Chris Patterson, the righty batting third baseman, takes a first pitch strike on that breaking ball. Patterson a fly out to right field. So far in this game, 10-1, Alabama leads top of the fourth, trying for the sweep against Missouri. Throw to first. Runner back in, standing up. The 0-1. Swing, and it's fouled straight back. Fastball at 90 miles per hour, and it's 0-2. This will be the 40th pitch for Zane Adams coming up. He's already got 2 outs, top of the fourth.
And they've been relatively low-stress pitches. Yes, he gave up a solo home run, but not a lot of traffic, not a lot of 3-2, 2-2 counts.
The 0-2. Check swing and a ball in the dirt. Neal picks it up foul territory to his right, and staying at first base will be Knutson. Ball and 2 strikes on Patterson.
See what Adams comes with here. Buried one that Brady Neal blocked up. Do you come back with a fastball on the inner half?
The 1-2. Low for a ball, and that makes it an even count, 2-2.
Slider buried in the dirt. And that's the good thing you have in your arsenal is a changeup. You may incorporate that here too if you want to say soft away.
Fastball just a little in. Crimson Tide fans were hoping that was a called third strike. Instead, it's a full count.
Very good Saturday crowd, Roger. Along with some right field ragers.
That is the
sprinkled
place
in
to
there.
be.
Yeah.
Full count on Patterson. Here it is. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Zane Adams racks up the strikeout, his third of the ball game. We will go to the bottom of the 4th. 10-1, Alabama leads Mizzou. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We're in the bottom of the 4th, 10-1, the Crimson Tide leading the Missouri Tigers. This 4th inning brought to you by Cadence Bank. Keep up with everything Alabama. The Roll Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. Download the Roll Tide mobile app now for free in the App Store and Google Play. See the Tigers go to the bullpen to start this bottom of the 4th, again trailing by 9 runs. Brock Lucas now on the mound, a right-hander, 6'3", 229 pounds, a junior from St. Elizabeth, Missouri. Look at the numbers so far this season. For Brock Lucas, 15 appearances, 2 starts, 1 win, 4 losses, an ERA over 10, 10.65. 36 in the 3rd innings. He's given up 48 runs, 43 earned on 59 hits. 25 walks, 35 strikeouts. Batters against him hitting .358. His job is pretty simple, try and keep this game right where it is. Missouri knows, as a team that's been run-ruled a handful of times in SEC play, not much margin for error, trailing by 9 only in the bottom of the 4th.
It's really not, but at this point, Brock Lucas is concerned about just this one inning and being a clean inning, and he's clearly gotten a lot of work making his 16th appearance. He's also started a handful of games for the Tigers. He's almost a K per inning, so it's going to be some fastball is going to be in that 89, 91. He's got a cutter and a curveball that you'll see, but like I said, it's stop the bleeding, put up a 0. We'll go to the next inning after that.
Garrett Staten will be the first man to the plate here on the bottom of the 4th, 10-1. Alabama leading Missouri. Crimson Tide hoping for a clean sweep of the Tigers. Had to come from behind in the ball game on Thursday. Garrett Staten's home run tied the game at 5 in that contest in the 6th inning. Staten with a single and a ground out. 1 for 2 in this game. First pitch, righty on righty, a fastball off the plate for ball 1. Sunshine beaming down on the field, getting into more partly cloudy skies after it's mostly cloudy to get us going. Now the 1-0. Runs a little inside. And makes it 2 balls and no strikes. Thought maybe it hit the home plate umpire. And I think maybe the catcher's glove did. It was an odd reaction from Hank Hemmen, and he almost looked back to see if that ball went to the backstop, but it did not.
It's kind of like it surprised the catcher.
2-0. Waved at and missed. 2-1. Two-one pitch. Just outside. And it's now 3 balls and a strike to Garrett Staten. He'll be followed by Will Hodo, Jason Torres, who have already hit home runs in this game.
Staten's approach has just continually improved over this weekend. You see, it was a little jumpy in game 1. He's just seeing the ball really well at the plate.
Rips it foul down the left side. Count now full at 3-2.
And all I mean by jumpy is just uber aggressive to a pitch where you're fouling it, a good pitch in the strike zone, fouling it way off the third base side or way off, and he's just really been able to see it well.
Payoff pitch is reach for a fly ball going into right. Seals moving back and just shy of the warning track. He'll make the grab for the out. Not an unconventional swing for Staten, and really unconventional route to the ball as well by Pierre Seals in right field.
Lucas has gotten a lot of action in SEC play. We pitched an inning versus Missouri State, not SEC, but Oklahoma went 5 innings against Florida and also 2 against Arkansas.
First pitch to Hodo. Taken for a strike. 10-1 Crimson Tide leading here in the bottom of the 4th. 1 out, no one on base for Will. And the pitch. He swings and tees off on this. High, deep right center field. Will Hodo with a 2-homer game. Into the Missouri bullpen. He makes it Alabama 11 and Missouri 1.
Woo, Roger, that ball was tattooed. 106 off the bat, 405 feet. I was going to say he got it into the bullpen, but that was over the bullpen. Solo job right there by Will Hodo.
12 home runs now for Will Hodo. It's now his 3rd multi-homer game. Last time he did that, he had a 2-homer game against South Carolina last year in this ballpark. Career high 12 homers now for Hodo after hitting 11 last year. First pitch to Torres, taken for ball 1. 1-0, here it is. Fastball, strike call, and it's now 1-1. That pitch off the plate. Lucas has allowed more home runs than anyone else on the Mizzou staff. That is now the 12th homer he's given up. Crimson Tide would love some more. Starting with Torres, 2-1. Low and outside, 3-1. He and Hodo went back-to-back as part of that 8-run second inning.
Yeah, you know you're seeing the ball well. 2 home runs today for Hodo.
3-1. Swing and a high fly ball down the right field line, slicing into foul territory, and that one will be out of reach and out of play. Seals running out of room as I don't believe it hit the crowd, but hit the netting. 3-2.
That was a 3-1 pitch right there. It looked like Torres got exactly what he wanted and fouled that off. I could just see the disgust in his face. Like, man, that was it. But foul ball. It's 3-2. You get another opportunity, but also swinging a really good stick today. Two
homers this weekend for Jason Torres. Now the payoff pitch. Called, third strike. Fastball over the plate, and there are two gone.
The bounce back pitch. Brock Lucas coming back with a fastball, competing down in the zone, gets strike three.
Coleman Mizell with 2 outs, no one on base. Crimson Tide in front by 10. First pitch bounces into home plate from Lucas. Ball 1.
Just the couple of at-bats I've seen for Lucas, is a fastball that's in the 90-mile-an-hour range with some run.
1-0. Reach for, swing and a miss at a fastball for strike 1.
And a really good fastball, but just trying to find the location on his off-speed pitch, and when you can't find the location on your off-speed pitch, you can.
Here's a swing and a line drive to right center, base hit. Coleman Mizell got that fastball and deposits a single to keep this inning going.
Roger and Coleman Mizell beat me to the punch. When you cannot locate your off-speed pitch, the hitter can just sit dead red fastball, and that's exactly what Coleman Mizell did right there with a laser up the middle for a single.
Now the Crimson Tide with an 11-1 lead, top of the order back to the plate, and here's Bryce Fowler. Single, homer, walk for him today. Righty versus lefty, and the first pitch. He swings a fly ball deep down the right field line, foul, right to the netting. Strike 1 on Fowler. Crimson Tide now with 13 hits in this game. That is certainly welcome to see after Crimson Tide yesterday 11 hits, 10. Game 1 of the series on Thursday. So at least 7 runs and double-digit hits every game against Missouri by this Crimson Tide offense. Today's got the potential for much more. 11-1, bottom of the 4th. Now the pitch. Low for a ball, 1-1.
It's good for Bryce Fowler, too. Also has a home run, and when you're, as a left-handed hitter, able to see changeup, that was always the toughest thing for a really good fastball hitter. You're so aggressive, and you see that changeup out the hand.
Here's a swing, and this is fouled away. 1-2.
Talked about Cade Snell starting at Auburn, going junior college. Bryce Fowler did the same, starting at Southern Miss. Very good baseball program, going the junior college route, and now back to Alabama and adds a bunch of athleticism to this offense.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. An upstairs fastball strikes out Fowler, and this 4th inning comes to a close. But the Crimson Tide add a run in this bottom of the 4th thanks to the Will Hodo solo home run. Let's go to the 5th. 11-1, Alabama leads Missouri. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Let's go to the top of the 5th. Crimson Tide 11 and Missouri 1. This 5th inning brought to you by CB&S Bank. Bank anywhere, at any time with CB&S Bank's digital solutions. Managing your finances has never been so easy. Tyler Macon, Mateo Cerna, and Peyton Basler all due to the plate here on the top of the 5th against Crimson Tide left-hander Zane Adams. Looking strong in this start. only giving up a run on 3 hits so far for Alabama. Kind of regardless of the score, you just want him, David, to stay in the rhythm he's been in. Looked great against LSU last Saturday. Would love to continue here today and get ready for Nashville next weekend.
He really has. It's been good rhythm. Even with when the few runners have been on base, he has not changed, and working out of the windup and the stretch has been very effective. He's started with the majority of first pitch strikes.
First pitch to Tyler Macon. What do you know? First pitch strike.
And the good thing too about that is it's been off-speed pitch and fastball too. So it's not anything that as a hitter you can really zone in on.
The 0-1, low and inside, and the count evens 1 ball, 1 strike. Adams peers in, and the 1-1. Swing and a line drive that will be placed in left for a base hit, and Tyler Macon is aboard. Leadoff single for Missouri here in the top of the 5th.
Good start for Missouri and Macon, and seems like all the guys that have come off the bench and started for Missouri have swung the bats pretty well, and we talked about it. When you're going through a stretch where you're trying to find answers and getting offense going, they've played 19 different starters offensively.
First pitch is a strike. Lower inside corner to Mateo Cerna. That's tough to gain a rhythm, gain some familiar roles, and you're doing that all throughout the season. Again, winless in SEC play coming into today. Here's the 0-1. Cerna, who homered last time up, takes a fastball outside, and it's 1-1.
Roger mentioned the tone and rhythm that Zane Adams in, and you talk about the lineup for Missouri. Nobody can establish real roles and know where you're going to bat in a lineup, so everybody's always looking around. You don't know what the lineup's going to be each and every day.
And the 1-1 is low, 2-1.
Defensive alignment for Alabama, playing the pull side. Cerna has been the lone source of offense with a solo home run back in the 3rd.
2-1. Fastball for a strike. Challenge him on the inner half of the plate. 1-2.
That's what gets me fired up. I mean, as a defender, when you're playing behind Zane Adams, and yeah, fastball's coming this count, and you can put one down in the zone in.
Look at first, now the 2-2. Here's a swing and a fly ball going into center. Just over to his right. Bonamolo's got it for the out.
Talked about the technology advances 15, 16 years ago, starting to date myself since I last played, but
way back.
Way back in the day. The pitchers got what they're getting called in the pitch and the catcher, but also the defensive players, all the infielders and outfielders are getting the relay of the pitch, can get if they want to know that too.
First pitch to Basler. Low for a ball. Here comes a snap throw to first. Safe as a call there. Macon gets back in.
For example, like Justin LeBron, and again, this may not be a great example with a guy on first base, but if he knows Zane Adams is throwing an off-speed pitch on the inner half, I might take 1 or 2 steps in the 6 hole.
1-0. Bounces into home plate. A late break for second. Now caught in between first and second. Trying to go back to first Macon, but Brady Neal throws him out. 2 gone. Another out on the Bates paths recorded by the Tide against Missouri.
It's just been one of those days for Missouri. Macon just could not make up his mind, and it was one of those ball got away from Brady Neal, and Macon was kind of halfway there, couldn't decide where they wanted to go, but at some point you got to go one way, and he got caught up there in no man's land.
Well, 2-0. Swing and a fly ball going high into right center field. Long run Fowler, and one last gallop back. He'll make the catch for the out, and suddenly this inning is over. Adams posts a 0 in the 5th. Had some help from his friends. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th in Tuscaloosa. Alabama 11, Missouri 1. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Crimson Tide and the Missouri Tigers. We roll on to the bottom of the 5th. 11-1 the score. Sending brought to you by the Bryant Museum. Make sure you check out the Bryant Museum your next trip to Tuscaloosa, located on the UA campus just across from the Joe. Open every day, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. except Mondays. Access online at bryantmuseum.com. We will see Brock Lucas remain on the mound for Missouri. Gave up a solo home run, but that was it last inning to Will Hodo. Most of the damage done by the Crimson Tide in the second inning. 8 runs for Alabama in that bottom of the second helped set the tone for this ball game. Solid pitching and hitting have kept it up for Alabama ever since.
It really has, and it's been top to bottom offense in the big inning. Second inning, 8 run, started by 11 pitch at bat by Justin LeBron.
Well, the first pitch on the way to LeBron, swing and a miss for strike 1. LeBron singled back in the second pitch. Slider, there's the strike, lower outside corner. Now it's 0-2. Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. LeBron goes down swinging on another breaking ball.
It's just a heavy dose of off speed right there, and good piece of pitching by Brock right there.
On the first pitch to Cade Snell. Swing and a bouncing ball up to the shortstop, but there's no shortstop there. The shift was on for Missouri. A base hit by Cade Snell, and he beats the analytics team for Missouri with that single towards the shortstop into center.
Roger, what do you know? Cade Snell goes middle side, 6-hole. He's going to get that scouting report one day to where they might play straight up, but I promise you Cade Snell will take it. He's hit the ball in the right place today.
So now Cade Snell over at first. Richie Bonamolo Jr. driving in 2 runs today. Next to the plate, the cleanup batter. Righty on righty pitch. Low, and this bounces away from the catcher Mateo, and Cade Snell will slide into second base on the wild pitch. Good feet first slide for Mr. Snell.
Off-speed pitch that just got buried, and Mateo blocked it. But heads up base running by Cade Snell, and the Tigers playing pull shift on Bonamolo.
1-0. Fastball, strike on the lower outside corner, and it's 1-1. Fastball for a strike, and it's 1-2. On the Missouri with a loss today and again trailing 11-1 in the bottom of the fifth. That would drop them to 0-21, meaning they had been swept in their first 7 SEC series. 1-2. Swing and a bouncing ball going to the first baseman. Fielding it is Lovich. He shovels to the pitcher covering in time for the outs. Cade Snell will take third base on the play. Now there are 2 gone. Again, 11-1 the score. And in SEC history, there has not been a team go winless in league action. The worst record that we've ever seen recorded in SEC play, 1989. Tennessee Volunteers, led by Mark Connor, went 4-23 in conference play, and that was the worst winning percentage in league history at 148. First pitch to Brady Neal. Here's a swing, and that's popped up high, going into foul territory down the third base side, and that one right up against the Crimson Tide dugout. Catch unable to be made by Cerna.
If we were playing football, that might have been a little pass interference. Alabama dugout. Guys sitting on the bench did not give way at all, and that was right around where Cerna was trying to make the play. I don't think they were intentionally going out of the way to get there, but did not give him a path.
So Neal, extra life at the plate. No balls and a strike with Snell at third and 2 gone. The 0-1. High for a ball, and the count evens to 1 ball and 1 strike. Now, it should be noted, Alabama does have one of the worst conference records we've seen. It wasn't too long ago. 1-1 and the pitch. Fastball swing and a miss, 1-2. It was 2017. Crimson Tide that year under the 1-year tenure of Greg Goff. 5 wins, 24 losses, and 1 tie.
I think that 1 tie was the last game of the SEC season.
At Vanderbilt, I believe. Here is the 1-2. High for a ball, and it's 2-2.
Where you'll be headed next week.
Next weekend, Hawkins Field, but better days were ahead for the Crimson Tide after that 2017 season. Right now, the Crimson Tide trying to pick up win number 12. Here's a swing and a bouncing ball up the middle. A base hit by Brady Neal. He brings home Cade Snell. RBI single, 12-1. Alabama in the bottom of the fifth. Alabama's now scored in 4 straight innings.
Really good to see Brady Neal starting to get comfortable at the plate. Talked about now at 10-game hitting streak, been platooning in and out. His average prior to the last 10 games was in that low 200s, and that's sometimes as a former hitter, you like carry your average to the plate, and the good ones are able to just erase that and just focus on every at bat.
First pitch to Garrett Staten in there for a strike, and it's 0-1.
And Coach Rob Vaughn talked about we're offensively really good when Brady Neal's hitting the ball well.
The 0-1. Swing and a miss, and it's now 0-2. And that was really the problem against more so Auburn, Mississippi State. Last weekend had some good contributions up and down the lineup, even though losing 10-3 to LSU. But a couple series, it was only production from the top, only from the bottom. Here's the 0-2. That's just off the plate as Missouri thought that would be strike 3. 1-2. Not the case this weekend. Contributions all over the place for Alabama.
And we're hopeful to Will Plattner, a nagging injury. Hopefully he will be back in a couple of games.
1-2, a fastball high from Lucas and outside, and the count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and an inside fastball, and the inning is over. Top of the 6th coming up. It's Alabama with a 12-1 lead against Missouri. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Tide 12, Missouri Tigers 1. We've reached the top of the 6th inning. Setting brought to you by Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. Live streaming talk show each and every Thursday at 2 p.m. Central. This past week, we had Sarah Ashley Barker join us from Los Angeles, where she's getting ready for training camp with the LA Sparks after being a first-round draft pick following a sterling career wearing the crimson and white, including 45-point school record her last game in women's basketball against Maryland. Also, Larry McReynolds joined us. Larry Mack from NASCAR on Fox, longtime Alabama football fan. He joined us to break down the action coming up from Talladega. Jack Link's 500 coming up tomorrow from Talladega Super Speedway. We look forward to that. So get a full NASCAR breakdown plus some football knowledge from Larry McReynolds. This past week on Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, available on demand all of our CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Garrett Goldbeck taking the first pitch for a ball. Zane Adams back to work on the mound for the Tide here in the top of the 6th. Now the 1-0 pitch. Goldbeck takes a strike, 1-1. Colson Buchanan currently getting loose in that Tide bullpen.
Really good to see Zane Adams coming out for another inning of work. Still only at 55 pitches.
Fastball swing and bouncing ball right to second on the dirt. Underhand toss from Staten after he gathered it in, and he throws out Goldbeck to start the inning. Low stress innings. Hasn't been a point where Missouri has had 2 men on base at all against Zane Adams.
It's been low stress because of no walks and not a lot of 3 Ks today, but that's okay in a game like this. You know you really need to let your defense work. That's how you get deeper into games. He's had 2 games this year where he's completed 6 innings of work versus Tennessee and Presbyterian.
First pitch to Lovich, representing top of the order, chops it foul, third base side, strike 1. And that's the form Alabama wants him to get back to.
Yeah, and I would venture to say, Roger mentioned some light work going on in the pen. This might be the last inning.
0-1, waved at a miss for a strike.
And that's all dependent on how this inning goes. But, hey, at this point, the game is 12-1, and at least for the sake of Zane Adams, you want him to be fresh going into his next start too.
Now the 0-2 pitch. Check swing, that's low and off the plate. No swing offered on appeal. And we'll see what the Tide rotation looks like. No midweek game coming up this week for final exams, and then the Vanderbilt series Friday through Sunday. So you could very well see everyone stay in their spots except for Tyler Fay. Here is the 1-2. Swing and a soft fly ball, foul territory. Hodo goes into a dive. He came close with the first baseman's mitt in that first base coaching box, but just went past him and out of play for a foul ball.
Hey, the score's 12-1 in the 6th inning, and you've hit 2 home runs, and you're diving full layout for that. I love to see that.
Be tougher than they are. It's a sign in the Crimson Tide dugout. Will Hodo personified that there. Ball and 2 strikes on Lovich. Adams ready, and the pitch. Check swing and a ball high. Did he go? No. And that makes it 2-2. But anyway, you've got a Friday through Sunday series coming up. You could keep Riley Quick, Zane Adams, who are traditional starters, on their normal rest. Keep them in those roles. Move Fay maybe with some extra rest back to Sunday. You have another Friday through Sunday series the next week against Georgia. That's poked foul. And that'll keep it at 2-2. And then, just wouldn't you know it, you go right back to a Thursday through Saturday series again against Florida to wrap up the season.
I'm interested to see. I'll have to comb through the SEC schedule, all of the teams, but I'm interested to see who are all the Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. Obviously, they're mixed, intermixed, but I mean, did everybody get the same Thursday, Friday, Saturday in number?
2-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. 4th strikeout for Zane Adams. Now there are 2 gone. Of course, everyone will play Thursday through Saturday to close out the regular season to prepare for Hoover in the SEC tournament, where everybody, including this Missouri team, will go this year.
I like that format. Just, this year with the expansion of Oklahoma and Texas coming in, and I think that's kind of maybe a celebration of all, everybody in, and you want every school to experience that.
16-team single elimination tournament, kind of like a conference basketball tournament with some byes mixed in. First pitch to Pierre Seals. Fastball, swing and a miss for strike one.
Fastball still sitting at 91 for Zane Adams. And it feels like this was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday matchup. The last weekend was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday matchup, but I think that was more in line with the Easter weekend.
The 0-1. Check swing, that's just low, and the count evens 1 ball, 1 strike.
So Alabama will actually get one extra day back. I believe that Vanderbilt is at Ole Miss this weekend and playing a traditional Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
1-1 to Pierre Seals. Tigers trailing by 11 down to their last 4 outs at the plate this game. With the run rule in effect, that's fouled back 1-2. Oh, the fun of being a pitching coach, having to go back and forth between different starts.
This was a good day to be a pitching coach for Alabama and Jason Jackson.
1-2 the count. And the pitch by Adams. Low and outside, 2-2. This would be the kind of day that would keep our friend Alan Dunn in the dugout, serving as a color commentator on SEC Network Plus, former Crimson Tide pitcher, longtime pitching coach at LSU. Always quick to point out, yeah, those are the games I don't miss.
Yeah. There's a lot of high stress in the SEC, but he had some good ones at LSU.
2-2. Swing and a high fly ball driven deep down the right field line will twist foul and out of play.
He was putting a lot more stress on the other dugouts on their offense.
Two and two on Pierre Seals. 12-1 Crimson Tide leading. Zane Adams trying to get the final outs. Try and go at least 6 innings in this start. 2-2. Inside and low, full count.
The home crowd trying to get going to pull Zane Adams for a strike 3 with the claps right here. See if he can get it.
Payoff pitch. High ball 4. First walk of the game for Adams. It's a man on base for Keegan Knutson. Third hitter in the order and the shortstop for the Missouri Tigers. Adams' pitch count totally fine. He's at 67. As he works here, quick mound visit from Brady Neal, his catcher. 12-1 Crimson Tide leading top of the 6th inning.
We talk about effective and efficient at 68. In those games I was telling you that he completed 6 innings of work versus Tennessee. He went 95 pitches, and against Presbyterian 96. So I mean that just tells you almost 30 pitches off. I mean that's you can make a case that could have been inning and a half worth of work that he's been going after attacking hitters. Again, we saw him give up his first walk. Very few 3-ball counts.
That Tennessee win, that was when the Vols were #1 in the country. Had gotten off to a great start in SEC play, sweeping Florida the weekend before, and Adams on that Thursday night was absolutely rock solid for the Crimson Tide, getting that Game 1 win.
Another Thursday night game in the SEC.
Even week 2, yeah. Now here is Knutson after the quick mound visit by the catcher Neal. First pitch. Lefty to righty, buckles in. Breaking ball for a strike, lower outside corner. Knutson singled last time up, has one of the 4 hits for Missouri. The 0-1. Swing and a fly ball right center. Bonamolo, Fowler over. It'll be Bryce Fowler. Squeezing it with the glove on the right hand. That closes out the inning. And Zane Adams goes through 6 innings, limiting Missouri to only 1 run. Bottom of the 6th coming up. It's the Crimson Tide with an 11-run lead, 12-1 over Mizzou. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Crimson Tide ahead 12-1, bottom of the 6th inning. It's the perfect time to enjoy Beatbox, the original party punch, official sponsor of the Alabama Crimson Tide, a lineup of bold flavors that are low sugar, gluten-free, sustainably packaged, and resealable. Beatbox has a flavor for everyone. Look for it across the Southeast for your next tailgate. As we get ready for the bottom of the 6th, let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Back at Sewell Thomas Stadium on campus of the University of Alabama in gorgeous Tuscaloosa. It's Roger Hoover and David Kindred with you. Our game being produced, Jerry Kelly at our Learfield studios, Ethan Caravan producing the booth cam presented by MLB The Show 25 on all of our social media platforms at UA_CTSN. New pitcher on the mound for the Mizzou Tigers, Ian Losey, taking over. He's 0-4 throughout his 7 appearances, and those were all 7 starts. For Losey, a 7.28 earned run average. He's a lefty, grad student from St. Louis, Missouri. And he is now on to take on bottom third of the order that's provided a punch in this game. Will Hodo, already 2 homers, matching career high in this ball game. Jason Torres, and then Coleman Mizell, all due to the plate.
Lowe's primarily a starter for Missouri. Got 39 Ks through 29 innings of work, so he's got good, effective stuff. It's going to be fastball 90-91, cutter, and slider, so very good matchup on lefty.
First pitch to Will Hodo. He swings and lifts high in the air going into left center field. Left fielder battling the sun. Macon, he will get there for the out. 1 gone, no 3-homer game it looks like for Will Hodo. I believe T.J. McCants, last man, homer 3 times in a game for Alabama. But
Is that Alabama State?
Yes, in Montgomery. But we are having the stats interns checking that right now. Indeed, T.J. McCants, last man to accomplish that feat in Montgomery last year in a midweek game. First pitch to Jason Torres. Fastball outside for a ball, and it's 1-0.
I also believe the UA baseball legend G.W. Keller did it in his baseball career.
1-0 pitch, swing, and a foul tip off the catcher's mask. I'll make it 1-0. Yeah, there's never been a 4-homer game in Crimson Tide history.
Well, while we are on home runs, 6 of the 12 runs via the long ball. So, again, this entire weekend's been offensively led by home runs by Alabama. So good to see that, getting their pitches and not missing.
9 home runs this weekend. 5 in the first 2 games, 4 today. Ball and strike to Torres, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball in the inner half, 1-2.
9 home runs as a club, and on versus 1 given up, and that 1 being just a solo home run. So on the flip side, for the most part, very good pitching, not giving up. A lot of three-run homers.
1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for Torres, 2 gone. And look back to the last home series against Mississippi State. They did not generate much offense against Alabama, but most of their damage was done with home runs, and that helped the Bulldogs take 2 out of 3.
And the reality is, I mean, what gets everybody off their feet is a home run every once in a while. You obviously can't be swinging for that, but you'll absolutely take it when you do them effectively and 4 times in a game.
Pinch hitter for the Crimson Tide, Peyton Steele comes to the plate. So we've seen him some throughout the season. Good ovation for Peyton Steele. So he steps in. Homered last time he was at the plate for the Crimson Tide. April 8th against Southern Miss. Roddy Batter, only a freshman, is averaged at a clean .500, and he takes the fastball a little high for ball 1. Peyton Steele only in his freshman campaign from Decatur. Went to Hartselle High School. Lefty on righty, and the pitch. Swing and a fly ball sprayed high and deep into right field. Backing up Seals to the warning track. He will make the catch for the out, and that will close out the inning. Alabama does not score in the sixth, but it's the Crimson Tide on the verge of a run rule victory, moving to the top of the seventh, 3 outs away from a win, leading 12-1 over Mizzou. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Tide, we start at the top of the seventh inning, brought to you by Cook's Pest Control. Don't forget to add pest control to your lineup this spring. From protecting against mosquitoes and termites to clearing cobwebs, spring cleaning, it is not done until you call Cook's Pest Control. Well, Zane Adams back to work on the mound. 69 pitches through 6 innings, David, limiting Missouri to a run on 4 hits. He'll try and go the distance in a run rule win.
At this point, if you're at 69 pitches, why not? And he's been effective. And I think I'd love to see a guy possibly go complete game and build in his confidence going into the next week.
No complete games for the Crimson Tide this season. Only one against Alabama. That was the Game 1 loss against Auburn. Samuel Dutton went the entire way in a victory for the Tigers in only 7 innings. First pitch fouled away by Caden Pierre. He'll be followed by Chris Patterson and Tyler Macon due to the plate. Part of the order. Middle of the order that's combined 1 for 6 in this game against Zane Adams. Alabama Vanderbilt coming up next weekend. No balls in a strike. And the pitch. Fastball high and outside. And the count evens 1-1. Coverage from Hawkins Field on campus at Vanderbilt, where they've had a lot of construction to all of their athletic facilities, including baseball, football, basketball, all right there together. 1-1. Swing and a fly ball into right. Hustling in is Fowler. He'll have to play it on a bounce. Leadoff single for Caden Pierre. Starts at the top of the 7th. Coming up next week, May 2nd, it'll be the first game on Friday night, 6 p.m., followed by a Saturday game at 2, Sunday game at 3. To wrap up 3 games between Alabama and Vanderbilt. First time the Crimson Tide have gone to Nashville to take on the Commodores since 2021. Leadoff single puts a man aboard for Patterson. 12-1 Alabama leads top of the 7th. First pitch. Fastball buzzes inside. 1-0 on Patterson. Again, the challenge is Alabama up by 11. Can only allow 1 run in this top of the 7th inning to maintain that 10-run margin for victory. If Missouri scores twice, we'll move to the bottom of the 7th to continue this game. 1-0 the count and the pitch. Swing, and that's launched high and deep down the left field line. Well foul.
Like out in front of a slider. But again, Chris Patterson slowed down a little bit today, but strong weekend for him offensively.
The 1-1. Inner half strike. Fastball at 90. 1-2.
Tide faithful at the Joe getting behind Zane right here.
1-2 pitch. Bounces into home plate, bounces away from Brady Neal to his left, and it's a wild pitch, putting Caden Peer at second base. Neal, frustrated, slams the baseball down the turf, and will get a new one from the home plate umpire. One Crimson Tide leading, top of the 7th. Most of the damage done. 8 runs in the 2nd, 2 more in the 3rd for Alabama. 2-2 on Patterson. The pitch. Swing, and here's a high pop fly down the left field line. LeBron over, Torres over. It's LeBron. Just in foul ground. He'll make the catch for the out, and there's one gone.
Like a changeup that hung up in the zone. Patterson out in front. LeBron coast over there, right on the left field line to get that first out.
One away for Tyler Macon. Single last time up, a leadoff single in the 5th. Ultimately was picked off first base. Runner at second base, Peer, one gone. And the first pitch. Fastball missed a little low and in. Win would put Alabama at 35-10, 12-9 in the SEC. 1-0. And the pitch. In there for a strike on a breaking ball. 1-1.
And that's exactly the reason why Zane is pitching where he is in the 7th inning. He got behind ball 1, and you think, man, that should be fastball count right here, especially 12-1. He throws it off speed for strike.
1-1 pitch. Fastball low and in, and it's now 2 balls and a strike to Macon.
And outside this inning, the fastballs has been the pitch he's been able to command. It's kind of been more off-speed pitch, the one that he can find right now.
Look back at second and the 2-1. Fastball, strike. Lower inside corner, now it's 2-2. Four strikeouts compared to 1 walk today for Zane Adams. He's limited Missouri to a run on 5 hits. Here at second, 1 gone. 2-2. In the dirt, bouncing away from Neal. Peer leaned off second, but ultimately does not run. So it's now a full count, 3-2 on Tyler Macon.
I think aggressive base runner like Peer, he'd have been all over a dirt ball read like that to get to third base, but score 12-1. You can't press like that at this point.
Adams ready with the count full. Payoff pitch. Swing, and that's fouled back. Fastball at 90, ripped back to the nets, and it stays at 3-2.
I'm not quite sure how many times, obviously there was a solo home run, but a guy's been in scoring position against Zane Adams this game.
The pitch. Called third strike. Completely froze Macon. He strikes out looking. 2 gone. Well, Caden Peer has been the only man at second base against Adams today.
It looked like a slider that just got down just enough to get that strike 3 for Zane Adams. Good spot by Brady Neal.
The only run for the Tigers today, courtesy of Mateo Cerna on a solo homer in the 3rd. First pitch to him here. Low for a ball. 12-1 Crimson Tide lead and out away from a run rule victory in the top of the 7th.
And Cerna, like you said, Roger, the lone run, the solo home run was the fastball ambush first pitch. I loved how he went off speed there.
1-0 is swung on and popped up. That's high, going into shallow right center. Fowler drifts in. Fowler makes the catch. This ball game, this series is over as Alabama completes a sweep of Missouri with a run rule, 12-1 win in 7 innings on this perfect Saturday in Tuscaloosa. Crimson Tide can celebrate. Second sweep for the Tide this year. First one was the opener of SEC play at Texas A&M, but the first SEC sweep at the Joe this year, culminating in a 12-1 victory for the Tide over Missouri. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll begin the Bama Baseball postgame show. A reminder, we are going to break number 20 coming up to our stations down the line. We are getting into our postgame coverage next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Swung on and drift. High, deep right field, and gone! Will Hodo with his second homer of this series, a 3-run shot to right. And in the bottom of the second, it's now Alabama 3, Missouri nothing. And the pitch. He swings and tees off on this. High, deep right center field. Will Hodo with a 2-homer game. Into the Missouri bullpen, he makes it Alabama 11 and Missouri 1. Have a game. Will Hodo, a multi-homer effort, helps Alabama to this win. 12-1 is the final score here at the Joe as we end things a little bit early in the top of the 7th at Run Rule Win. Alabama 12, Missouri 1. Roger Hoover, David Kindred, glad to welcome you to the Alabama Baseball postgame show presented by the Bryant Museum. Make sure you visit the Bryant Museum your next trip to Tuscaloosa, located on the UA campus just across from Coleman Coliseum. Open every day, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. except Mondays. Access online at BryantMuseum.com. And David Kindred, you wanted to see some clean baseball. Rob Vaughn especially did from the Crimson Tide. Got it really all aspects of the game today.
It was the interview that you had with Coach Rob Vaughn of all the check boxes he wanted to see. He wanted to see a sharp outing from Zane Adams, ready to go in the first inning. Not only was he ready to go in the first inning, he went complete game. And that was kind of a complete weekend. Again, it was a very good start by Tyler Fay over the long haul. Riley Quick and Zane Adams finished it off with a complete game. Very effective. One walk. Just a tremendous job of controlling his pitches, limiting his outing, no stress on the bullpen, and the offense comes alive and executes. And again, it was a lot of home runs, 2 by Hodo, 1 by Torres and Bryce Fowler, but it was the top to bottom lineup production throughout the day.
Crimson Tide get the win to improve to 35-10 on the year, 12-9 in the SEC. It's the second sweep Alabama's collected this year. For Missouri, tough series and tough season continues, losing their 21st game in SEC play, now 0-21, 13-30 overall. We'll be back with the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Rob Vaughn, will join us next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Alabama. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
Slider is swung on and delivered high and deep in the air to left field. A towering shot. Jason Torres past the playground. Makes it 4-0 Alabama in the bottom of the second. Pitch. Swing, and he crushes it. High, deep right field. All the way to the Rangers. 2-run homer, Bryce Fowler. Alabama has now a 6-0 lead in the bottom of the second. Still nobody out. Overall, in this series, 9 home runs for Alabama over the weekend. 4 of them hit today. Great recipe for winning for the Crimson Tide. This run rule victory, 12-1, the final score against Missouri. Welcome back to the Bama Baseball Postgame Show, presented by the Bryant Museum. Roger Hoover, David Kindred in the press box, now joined on the field by the victorious head coach of the Crimson Tide, Rob Vaughn. And, Coach, we just talked about it a moment ago up here. This was kind of everything you were looking for in our pregame interview. You saw it from the Crimson Tide today, pitching, hitting, and defense.
Yeah, man, it felt like we've been waiting on that game for about 3 weeks. You know, we just kind of played all phases right there. We played good defense. We got really good starting pitching. Zane Adams was outstanding all day. I mean, they ambushed a heater and got him after that 8-run inning and got one there. But Zane was Zane and was impressive. And then just a relentless onslaught offensively. That's what I loved. I mean, we had 10 straight quality at bats there in the second. I think 8 of them were hits and a lot of extra base hits in there. The next inning, we have 2 outs and nobody on, and end up manufacturing and getting 2 runs out of that. Had some big 2-out hits. It's just a game that we've been kind of waiting to play, so it felt good to kind of finish this weekend on a high note.
Coach, to continue on what Roger was talking about, your pregame discussion, you talked about what you wanted to see from your offense, and at the end you said, keep it simple. I want you guys to be on time and swing at good pitches. And that just tells me a lot. And I heard you in the post games in Thursday and Friday talk about we just kind of feel like we're between pitches, we're not executing, and that to me is where you just take the stress off yourself and just keep it simple. Can you talk a little bit about that type of execution today?
Yeah, I mean, this game is very hard. We just got to do a good job of not making it complicated, and it's hard because these kids want it so bad, and it's very easy when you're kind of scuffling to go to my swing's not right or something's not right. But so much of it, man, is just, are you on time? Do you have a plan? Like, are you on time? Or are you moving on the right pitches? And, at times you saw, and sometimes it's tough. Their starter today had thrown one inning on the year. He hadn't pitched since 2023. I think he was injured last year. So some of that stuff is complicated to have a plan because you don't really know what you're going to get. But I thought we did a good job of just communicating, and they made some pitching changes. And at times you'll see a pitching change kind of shift the momentum, and our guys just didn't let that happen. And just a relentless approach by them. I was really proud of those guys today. They were great.
Great win for the Crimson Tide. And, Coach, after a game in a series like this, I'm sure you're grateful for some of the extra rest. No midweek game coming up this week. Won't play again until Friday at Vanderbilt. But do you almost wish you had a game right around the corner just to keep a momentum like this rolling? What can a series win like this and a sweep do for your team?
No, I think I'll trade it for the rest, to be honest with you. I mean, especially in some positions, we've been riding a lot of these guys every day, especially with Platt going down. Brady Neal's been catching every day for it seems like 2.5, 3 weeks now. So it'll be really good. This week, the timing of it is really good. We played well. You kind of if you don't play great today, you want to get back right around the corner and kind of play again. But I think it'll be really helpful, I think, for these guys to just be able to take a blow. And, we'll take tomorrow off. We'll get after it and get on Monday. We'll probably go a lighter day Tuesday just to kind of be smart with our reps there, and hopefully we can come in a tick fresh, ready to go on Friday out of Vandy, because those guys are playing. Not a lot of people are talking about them right now, and they're playing elite level baseball. So we'll have our hands full next weekend, but we'll take the rest this week for sure.
We look forward to it. Well, Coach, congratulations on the win and the sweep against Missouri. Thank you for your time. Congratulations. Roll Tide.
Appreciate you, boys. Roll Tide.
That's head coach of the Crimson Tide, Rob Vaughn, as he gives his final thoughts on a sweep against Missouri. David Kindred, your final thoughts.
It was, again, we're going to stay on complete. Again, tremendous outing by Zane Adams, going complete game. I thought that just for him mentally, that's just his continued development. It was great to see. And offensively, it was a complete offensive week. They left some meat on the bone on Thursday and Friday, but today, offensive. Half the runs came via the home run, but also working when runners were in scoring position. So that's a great way to end on a high note because, like Coach Rob Vaughn said, this is going into on the road in the SEC and a team in Vandy that's getting better and better.
Well, we look forward to that next weekend. We look forward to having you back in the booth with us coming up in 2 weekends when Alabama's home against Georgia. Just great debut as a radio analyst. Really appreciate the great work you've done.
Appreciate it, Roger. It's been a lot of fun and 3 wins, and can't wait for the Georgia weekend. Hopefully we can continue that momentum.
We look forward to it. David Kindred's been in the booth with us the last 3 days. Same can be said for our video producer, Ethan Carabin, producing our booth cam presented by MLB The Show 25. Jerry Kelly produced this game back at our Learfield studios. For the Vice President and General Manager of the Crimson Tide Sports Network, Jim Carabin, this has been Roger Hoover here with you this weekend at Sewell Thomas Stadium. A clean sweep for Alabama against Missouri, and we appreciate you listening. Until next week in Nashville, have a safe rest of your weekend. From the Capstone, good night and Roll Tide.